Have you ever stopped to think about what's really at the heart of India's massive economic machine? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on this central force that actually drafts, funds, and drives our entire national financial roadmap. Let's dive in.
So, let's start with a big question. We all see the finance minister's big speech, we read the headlines, but who are the people, which specific group is responsible for putting together the single most important financial document of the entire year? It's probably not who you think. All right, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll unmask the budget's true architect. Then, we'll see how they turn all those plans into real action. We'll look at where they point our national funds, explore their surprising role as a global banker, and finally, tie it all together to see how they act as the country's economic nerve center. Okay, so let's get right to that first point. Crafting the union budget is this absolutely monumental task, right? And it all starts in one very specific place.
And here it is, the answer. Straight from the official key to the budget documents. It's the Budget Division, which sits inside the Department of Economic Affairs, or the DEA. They are the authority, the ones in charge. These are the masterminds behind the whole operation.
And to get a sense of the sheer scale of the DEA's responsibility, just look at this number. This is from the demands for grants, and it shows the incredible financial power they are projected to handle. I mean, we're not talking about a simple administrative office here. This is a financial behemoth.
But you know, the DEA's job isn't over once the budget speech is done. Not by a long shot. Their next absolutely critical role is to turn all those big announcements into something real. In fact, the DEA actually publishes these super detailed implementation reports themselves. This document right here shows that they are the ones tracking every single promise made in the budget. They're the ones holding different ministries accountable for turning policy into actual projects on the ground.
And this role as a coordinator is so important. Take, for instance, improving the ease of doing business. That's a key budget goal, right? Well, a high-level committee was set up for it. And you can see, working right alongside NITI and the DPIIT is the Department of Economic Affairs, making sure that economic vision gets baked into every single reform.
Okay, so we've established the DEA has this enormous budget. But the real question is, where does all that money actually go? Let's take a look at how they channel these massive funds into the projects that are literally shaping our country's future. This chart gives us a perfect, crystal clear breakdown. Look at that tiny sliver, just 1% that goes to actually running the department itself. The rest, the huge, overwhelming majority, a massive 78%, is being actively invested in central sector schemes and projects. You know, the real engines of our national development. And we're not just talking about boring line items on a spreadsheet. These are tangible, high-impact investments. We're talking about everything from building new highways and ports through the NIIF to using something called viability gap funding, which basically makes crucial but super expensive projects financially possible, all the way to boosting our national security with tech funds. The DEI is directly financing India's growth story.
Now, let's talk about a role that often flies completely under the radar. The DNI doesn't just handle India's finances at home, it also acts as our country's chief financial diplomat to the entire world.
A key tool here is the Indian Development and Economic Assistance Scheme, or IDEAS. It's managed by the DEA, and these lines of credit are so much more than just loans. They're strategic tools that we use to build partnerships and support development in other nations. And as you can see from this list, which is taken right from their official monitoring framework, the DEA's financial diplomacy has a truly global reach. We're talking from our immediate neighbors like Bhutan to partners all the way in Africa, Southeast Asia, and beyond.
And it's not just about direct country-to-country help. The DEA is also responsible for making sure India contributes its share to major international bodies, like the International Fund for Agricultural Development and the African Development Fund. This really solidifies our position as a responsible economic player on the world stage.
So when you pull all of these different threads together, what does it all really mean? Well, combining all these functions starts to reveal just how fundamental the DEA is to India's entire system of economic governance. This is the big takeaway right here. The DEA isn't just another department. It's the central hub, the economic nerve center that connects policymaking to implementation, national priorities to funding, and our own domestic economy to the rest of the world. It really is the engine room that keeps the whole thing running. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. The Department of Economic Affairs is clearly the chief architect of our financial present. But as India aims for brand new economic heights in this rapidly changing world, you have to wonder, what new challenges of strategy, funding, and global cooperation will this engine room have to navigate in the future?